New Year's resolutions. You know them, you make them, you fail them. But not me though, I'm different. I'm just like that different. Like sometimes you don't even know how different I am. Like sometimes I complete them, sometimes I don't, but that's just how different. Hey y'all, emergency player here. I made my New Year's resolutions for 2026 and I'm determined to see them through. I know some may see New Year's resolutions as pointless, like why wait for a new year to create a bunch of goals that won't pan out? And that's the thing, you don't need to wait till New Year's. I just don't think a lot of people are doing New Year's resolutions correctly. A lot of people do these big ambitious goals that are pretty vague. I want to lose a bajillion pounds. I'm so snatched. I think a strong New Year's resolution has to be a goal that can be broken down into smaller objectives. This allows you to have bite-sized actions and enables you to see your progress month by month. I did this last year for 2025 and I saw a lot of progress, and I kept that in mind when creating my resolutions for 2026. At the time of uploading, if this video comes out in time, animation takes a while and I procrastinated, it's the end of March and we're 3 months into the year and we're 25% of the way through 2026. I want to do a little quarterly shareholder meeting to see where I'm at with my What are my resolutions this year? There are 3 main areas I really want to focus on in 2026. First is my physical health. I know everyone does some form of like losing weight for their resolutions, but my results came back from the doctor and I need to log in to stay alive. Lawrence, you're fat. Damn, really? My goal here is to lose 30 pounds by the end of the year. Yay! I'll do this by changing my diet to remove white rice and replace it with whole grains like quinoa. I'll also be committing to the gym twice a week and taking walks outside on the days that I'm not at the gym. Overall, the goal is to be healthy while still eating a lot of food. But also getting in shape would be nice too. The second area I want my resolutions to tackle is diversifying the media I consume. I play a lot of video games, but when I actually break down the time I spend playing games, it's a lot of the same stuff. Like I just keep running rounds of Overwatch or Fortnite. I want to branch out and play a lot of games this year. And this will also help me become a better game developer and give me more inspiration to create. This also goes for other mediums. I don't watch a lot of TV shows or movies, but whenever someone suggests one, it always goes like this.
Oh dude, you need to watch Adventure Time.
Oh yeah, eventually.
You should watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I'll get to it.
Oh my god, you should watch Dungeon Meshi.
Eventually. 5 million recommendations later. Ugh, I swear there's nothing to watch. It would also be nice to go back to reading. It would help a lot when I eventually work on an RPG, and I just need to retrain my brain to read again. And that will be another dopamine shot for Mr. Emergency Player. Me. The new Zelda Specifically, my goals with this area is that each month I will play at least 1 new game and 1 season of a show or a movie from my eventually list. Hopefully I could add in, at minimum, 1 book per quarter as well. The third and most important area for my resolutions to tackle is continuing to grow and improve myself creatively. Last year was the biggest leap I've ever made in my creative endeavors by starting up this YouTube channel again, and I really want to continue that this year. I also want to start developing games again. That's something that fell to the side when I kicked up my YouTube channel, but now that I'm more comfortable with how to make videos for this channel, I can allocate more time to game development. So what do my resolutions look like? I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll do this by uploading at least 2 long-form videos a month, with some extra short-form content on my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. In terms of game development, I want to develop 2 games this year, one in the first half and the other in the second half. If either game shows promise, I would like to solo publish it on Steam, but I also don't want to rush out a shitty game for no reason, so there's no hard commitment to that idea. Finally, I want to do a game jam and do a short film for a festival. The most important part of creating is sharing it with a community, and to be honest, animating and game development can be very isolating. Doing a game jam and participating in a short film festival will allow me to collaborate and find community among those who also share the same interests as me.
Dude, that was a lot of resolutions. How are you going to keep track of all those?
With this.
Holy shit, dude. That looks like a satanic text that Christian mom from Iowa would be afraid of.
I started journaling this year. I have this large collection of empty notebooks that I've been building up for the past few years and finally decided to start tracking my days in them. It's helpful to write my task out on a physical piece of paper rather than just a phone, and it's kept me pretty productive. I usually have a goal for the week and create a things to do tab with a task in mind, while I write smaller objectives into the task list. Checking these off is pretty satisfying, and I'm away from my phone, which keeps me more productive and focused on my resolutions. Of course, I also write little things about my day and anything about my internal monologue that I need to just get out there. As a guy, I'll do anything except go to therapy. What am I doing with myself? Fuck this Chungus life. Around the end of the month, I usually do a little summary in my man diary, summing up the month along with everything I've accomplished and any highlights that occurred that month. Oh shoot, it's March. How am I actually doing on my resolutions? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. My health-related resolution is to lose 30 pounds by the end of the year, but for this quarter, I'm more focused on consistency. Going to the gym twice a week has genuinely made me feel a lot better physically. There was a period between late January and early February where my weight was fluctuating between losing 6 to 8 pounds, but since then, it's gone back up to my original weight, but I don't feel as bad as before, and I could see a bit of muscle growth in my chest and biceps, which feels really good. I also made some changes to my diet after a really bad blood test. Lawrence! These are some of the worst vitals I have ever seen. You're fat! Oh no, doc. How do I fix it? You have to quit white rice. No! I'm no longer a white rice enjoyer. I swapped over to all quinoa over the course of these 3 months. It did take a while. I had this mix of grains with lentils, quinoa, and brown rice. Then I realized I really hated the lentils, so now it was just quinoa and brown rice. With every batch I would make, I would slowly reduce the amount of brown rice and increase the amount of quinoa. And now it's just quinoa. I can't even tell anymore. That's just how quinoa my mind is. The last part of this resolution was daily walks. I'm too much of a chud to do it daily, so I do it like once a week. But I have been doing the Stairmaster though. Overall though, I'm doing a lot better than I thought. I just need to increase the consistency of my walks, but I'm getting the discipline down.
Oh, you know what you should watch? You should watch Fallout.
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually.
You should watch Mob Psycho.
Oh yeah, eventually.
You haven't watched How to Train Your Dragon?
I'll watch it at some point.
Hey, you should watch Freeren.
Eventually.
Have you seen Nana?
Another for the list.
You should watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I'll watch it eventually.
You need to watch Lilo and Stitch.
I'll get to it.
My brother in Christ, you need to watch Gravity Falls.
Fine, I'll watch a freaking show. I did pretty good in January, but I also think it helped that there were 2 shows that I had interest in, which both had new seasons come out around that time. I watched the new Phineas and Ferb season, and I also watched the new Gumball season. These were pretty good. For Gumball, the Sonder and the score were absolute highlights for me, and the rewrite was a great ending to the series in the most Gumball way possible, especially given the show's history, though I do think I prefer the original ending to the Amazing World of Gumball. I also watched the Lego Ninjago movie. That was a lot of fun. The ninjas felt a bit sidelined with Lloyd and Garmadon being the main focus, but I do love me my Chud ninjas and fictional Asian fusion city. This month also saw me playing quite a few games. I played Minecraft with my friends since we opened up the realm, and then I was also addicted to Absolem, which is a roguelike beat 'em up made by the team of Streets of Rage 4. It's like crazy that like a roguelike beat 'em up hasn't been done before. I also finally got around to playing Lil Gator Game. It's a very cute game about siblings and growing up. And my most unexpected game this month was From the Top. This is a Beyblade roguelike. You heard me right. A Beyblade roguelike. I want to do a separate video on this, but if the idea of a Beyblade roguelike appeals to you, then this is definitely your type of game. There's a bunch of different power-ups and different builds that your tops can do, and it's pretty cheap on Steam. I think it was like $4, but you could check, and it's a very fun time. February was a bit slower. I didn't watch any movies or full seasons of TV shows, but I did see like 2 episodes of Bob's Burgers, a bit of Regular Show, and some Abbott Elementary, but that was mostly it. I will say it was a month where I listened to a lot of music intentionally. There's a running gag in my friend group that I listen to the same 3 artists all the time, and jokes on them, all 3 of those artists released music this month. Joji's Piss in the Wind was fine. It felt like that all the singles that were released were the highlights of the album, which I didn't really feel like anything new was great in there. Bruno Mars's The Romantic was a banger, and a lot of the album having a bit more of a reggaeton vibe to it was really nice. Luke Chiang's Typhoon is a beautiful album of Luke growing through his 20s. Me and You and 20-something were absolute standouts in a very strong album. I would feature these, but I feel like the smallest sample would get me executed by the YouTube copyright system. On the gaming end of things, I started a playthrough of Pokemon Omega Ruby. I started it. I also played a lot of Overwatch. The new update and reset dropped and I was hooked, and glad to see that the game is doing well. This is also the month that I finally finished Undertale. Holy, this game is amazing. I get it now. At first I was like, I don't get the hype. And then I was like, okay, it's a bit slow at the beginning. And then I got to the sands area. I was like, okay, this game is funny. I kind of get it. It's great. And it just kept getting better and better. I definitely need to do more runs to see the other endings, but even just the ending of the first run, which was, I think, the general or the generic ending, it was really impactful. And it's a beautiful game about the language of video games and how we've been conditioned to play games. I definitely want to talk about it more in a future video when I tackle the other endings. I'm writing this video around the middle of March, but I feel like I'm on a pretty good pace so far. I watched Kiki's Delivery Service, which I haven't seen since high school. Hopefully this movie about burnout doesn't foreshadow anything. I also watched the first season of Ted, which was hilarious. It's just more Family Guy. I definitely intend on watching Project Hail Mary when that ends up releasing. In terms of games, if February had Undertale questioning my morals on why gamers endlessly kill by default, then March is about going all in mecha combat in a corporate and military industrial complex in Armored Core 6. Big robot go boom. What can I say? This is a bit off topic, but adjacent to media discovery. But I also went to the Gorillaz House of Kong exhibit for the Gorillaz new album, The Mountain. It was a beautiful experience going over the history of the Gorillaz band and behind the scenes process of how they got started. For a digital band, I really appreciated the emphasis of no phones, so people just had to focus on the exhibit itself. It definitely changed how I would have experienced the exhibit, knowing my Gen Z would be taking photos of everything that there is. I'm happy to report that this quarter, I'm doing pretty good at diversifying my media. But I'm not just one to consume media. It's also given me a desire to create. Growing yourself creatively will always be a challenge, especially with a full-time job. January saw the release of my animation reel and the replaced short film. My new avatar took up a lot of time during pre-production, so I was happy to finish the short film before the end of the month. In February, I was on a roll. I made one video each week. I created a behind the scenes of the replaced short film, then I started the script and the voiceover for the Overwatch video. But in between, I did the Bad Bunny Redneck Yowie, which was a lot of fun to make and collaborate on. I also made that within a very short amount of time, basically 5 days in between idea to execution. Afterwards, I resumed work on the Overwatch video and released it the following week, and then I ended the month with a montage of the Pokemon MVP intros for the 30th anniversary. This month I was really impressed with my output, but it did tank a bit of my social time, and I felt like I was using it to cope with my feelings instead of addressing some personal problems that I had that month. Literally at the beginning of the video. As a guy, I'll do anything except go to therapy. March, I calmed down and gave myself a bit more social time to see people. I created the channel intro trailer and then placed it up on long form video and on shorts. And on shorts it just did way better for some reason. And I guess this video counts as the second one. I also started this video about how I'm bad at dapping people up, but it's taking so long to write and animate that this will bleed into April. March also saw my proper return to game development. I did help out PyDev Studios, which is an indie game team that I started with some college friends with the Brackies Game Jam in February. But all I did was just add a bunch of trees to a level and it caused the whole thing to lag, like badly. In March, I started making levels again for Absolute Momentum, which is a multiplayer parkour racing game that I'm working on with PyDev Studios. Wishlist on Steam now! I made this really fun track where it shoots you out like a pinball machine, and if you utilize your character's movement properly, you can preserve your momentum and shoot yourself through the track. I also started up my solo project again. I'm making a top-down shooter themed around a gunslinger in the Wild West. This definitely takes elements from my previous projects, but I'm having a good time with it and we'll see where it goes. I just designed a new enemy type and added a health system, which was very freeing. A lot of my intended game mechanics were restricted by the one-hit, one-kill system that I placed for myself. If you're interested to play, I placed an itch.io link in the description if you want to try it out. Overall, I'm really happy with my creative output. I'm growing a lot as an artist, and with every video I do, I really feel myself improving and trying out new techniques. With the game dev projects, even though it took me a while to get started, I got started, and that's one of the biggest hurdles to get through. It's my belief that everyone should have some form of creative outlet. Doing these animations and game dev projects have helped give me a sense of purpose and that very outlet. This past year, I've discovered a part of myself that I sacrificed during my childhood for the sake of pursuing something considered more stable and more safe. There's a quote by Jim Carrey where his dad said, "You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. And that has been my mindset for the past year, and even if this channel never grows any further, I can at least say that I tried doing what I love, and that's creating. If you have an idea or a project that you've always wanted to do, I really encourage you to start it. It might not be perfect, but that's fine. That's part of the process, and what matters is that you made it. You made something. Something that's uniquely yours, built from your experience in life. So what's there to lose? Go create. Shareholders, this was a great first quarter for 2026. Emergency player stocks are off to a strong start and will be to the moon at any point. But no, actually, this was pretty good. This quarter was really focused on building discipline, and as time goes on, I continue to see my behaviors for my resolutions turn into habits, and I hope I have the discipline to see those resolutions through. Next quarter, we're projecting an addition of salads to my daily meals, finishing one large-scale RPG, and hitting 750 subs. I can feel myself digging my grave right now, but I want to see results. I hope this video inspired you to start your own goals or to continue pushing to reach them. If you haven't done one in a while, start small. Those small steps could be the start of a new chapter in your life. It's amazing how much I've discovered about myself over the past 3 months, and to be honest, the past year. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, I hope you stay around and subscribe. Keep on creating. Emergency Player out.